Tonight, new leadership at the Indianapolis Housing Agency is looking to get that department back on track.
It comes almost a year after federal government took over following severe mismanagement and dysfunction. And now for the first time, we're hearing from the new CEO.
Yeah, she sat down and had a conversation today with our Marion County reporter Lauren Kostek. So now the new leader shares her plan to turn things around.
At the Indianapolis Housing Agency,
just a hot mess.
Dozens showed up for Walk-In Wednesday, a chance to meet one-on-one with case managers. But many are still struggling to get help.
Going from house to house for 3 years, just waiting to get accepted to move.
Just waiting, the waiting period you have to go through to get some help.
Problems Yvonne Bean is hoping to fix. She's the new CEO of the agency, starting just a few weeks ago.
IHA is a wonderful organization that's had its share of challenges, and so we've got a road ahead, but one that I am certainly committed to.
And her resume is long, with more than 2 decades of public housing experience, including the recovery of 2 other troubled agencies.
I have a demonstrated track record of being able to turn things around, and I'm looking forward to doing just that here.
That's because Indy needs a lot of help. Last April, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development stepped in and took over, something that only happens in extreme cases, calling IHA dysfunctional and unacceptable, pointing to poor living conditions and troubled finances, plus concerns with safety. This year alone, IMPD responded to multiple public housing properties for violence, including the deadly shooting of a 14-year-old girl in January. Issues, Bean said, are a top priority.
We are not afraid of taking on this challenge, and we know that with time we'll be able to turn things around.
That includes a 12-month plan that is in the works, knowing there are many hurdles ahead.
Done so that IHA can become the agency that we can all be proud of.
In Indianapolis, Lauren Kostek, 13 News.
Now, the CEO told Lauren that her first order of business is to update the computer and the phone systems there. They're going to also update the software there. She says the current system is extremely outdated and very ineffective.
Developing tonight, a 21-year-old man is now under arrest accused of attempted murder after a shooting during a gun sale. The shooting left one man seriously hurt back in December on Canby Road near Quaker Road. This is on the far southwest side of town. Metro Police did not take any suspects into custody until this week. Officers say they arrested Trayvon Alvis Tuesday after using public safety cameras to find him. He faces 5 other charges in addition to attempted murder.
Tonight, 2 men are dead after a shooting on the west side in Brownsburg. Police tell us they do have a person of interest in custody.
Our Alex Almanza found neighbors who were talking about the crime and the impact on their community.
Brownsburg's John Raybould spends his days off talking to listeners across Indiana.
And welcome to Indiana Nocturne.
But today, the headlines hit a bit close to home.
Well, that ain't cool. I don't like that at all. And so it's a little unnerving, though.
A double homicide just blocks away from his home radio studio. According to Brownsburg police, officers were in the area and heard gunshots sometime after 2 in the morning. Once they got to Acre Avenue near Main and Green Streets, they found 2 male victims dead. Police say the 2 victims were found outside of an SUV that was partially in the driveway and the street.
This area around here is usually pretty quiet. I mean, especially this street, Acre Avenue.
For Gary Gamble, he's hopeful this isn't part of a larger trend and says crime is a growing pain of any rapidly changing town.
You kind of have to prepare yourself and, accept it a little bit, I guess. Nobody wants it, obviously, but it's just part of growth, I think.
Neighbors still optimistic that Brownsburg is safe.
So we just need to have big city solutions and just be vigilant and just, be aware of your surroundings. And if you're doing stupid stuff, don't do stupid stuff.
In Brownsburg, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
Now, we've reached out to Brownsburg Police for more information about what happened, including the victims' names. We will update you once we learn more.
Tonight, a 12-year-old is under arrest. This is in Bartholomew County after the person is accused of making a threat that involved a school.
The Bartholomew County Sheriff tells us they arrested the child who posted a vague threat online within 2 to 3 hours on what's essentially an intimidation charge.
I've been in law enforcement for over 30 years, and it seems like we are dealing with younger and younger people constantly. I mean, 10, 11, 12-year-olds is back in the day was pretty much unheard of.
The sheriff also tells us the child made no direct threat towards a specific school or person.
There is a bill now at the Indiana State House that wants to make school board members declare a political party.
13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker is here to explain what the bill would do and why some worry it could keep candidates from running.
Well, you know, school boards wield a lot of control. They decide the dress code for your children at school, what books are in their school library, and even their curriculum. In recent years, school board races have become pretty partisan, sometimes with money pouring in from donors who don't even live in Indiana. Now, right now, a candidate for school board is not required to declare what political party they are with. In fact, it's not even listed on the ballot. Senate Bill 287 would change that. Lawmakers in a House committee heard testimony on the bill today. The proposed measure has already faced some opposition from both Republican and Democratic lawmakers and just narrowly passed out of the Senate in the first half of session. The bill's author, Republican State Senator Gary Byrne, believes listing a school board candidate's political party on the ballot would give voters more transparency.
Knowing which political party a candidate identifies with will help Hoosiers know what kind of principles that person would apply to their position on the school board. School boards are already partisan, and it's more vital than ever that we recognize that.
More than 40 people signed up to testify today, with no shortage of takes on both sides of the issue.
This bill would also allow school board candidates to run in a primary, which gives the candidates running more time to get into the finer points of their campaign. The transparency this bill gives and allows the voter the opportunity to make a more confident and accurate decision in the voting booth.
SB 287 will crush the hopes of people my age and younger people who want to help but don't want to get tangled in partisan politics. We should pick school board members based on their skills, experience, and what they stand for, not their political party.
A lot of people wanted to speak on this bill. Testimony on Senate Bill 287 went on for hours. We still do not know its future, though, because the committee decided not to vote on it today. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.